Integrity Watch. We will take a very short break to adjust, and when we return, we'll introduce our guest and go into our program. Let's take this break. Yeah, the microphone is really loud. Culture of accountability, transparency, and evidence-based decision-making across all sectors and institutions in Liberia. In Liberia, we have this culture of, just sitting back and being relaxed and complaining about a lot of things that happen in the country, but we do not, often take up the mantle to take actions and be active in the fight against corruption. That is why we have this radio program for you, members of the public, not just to sit back and complain. Oh, there's corruption in government, there's corruption this place and that place. But what can you do as a government and people to stop corruption? How can you contribute towards ending corruption in Liberia? And one of the ways to do it is to be active. The LACC is one institution with limited manpower. Center is another institution with limited manpower. So we cannot be everywhere. The LACC cannot be everywhere. And those anti-graft institutions, that the GSC and the PPCC and the rest of them, cannot be everywhere in every community, in every office. You, members of the public, can play a very pivotal role. And your role is to is to report when you see things happening. When you see it, you report it and become active players in the fight against corruption. And that begins with you reporting whatever corruption you see, whatever thing that you see that sounds fishy, that may look or smell like corruption. You have to report it. And that's why we have our Advocacy and Legal Advice Center at Centar that is clothed with the authority granted by Centar to receive from you, members of the public, allegations of corruption. It's free of charge. If you see something happening anywhere at any time, you can call our Advocacy and Legal Advice Center on 4432. It's free of charge. You don't need to have unit in your phone to call. All you need is a phone that is charged. Call Center 4432. We have lawyers there trained, ready, and willing to receive your complaints and to act. Whenever you report an allegation of corruption, the lawyers will receive the allegation, they will assess the situation, they will do due diligence, they will do follow ups, and after which they will proceed to submit that allegation to the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, which is the institution, you know, with the legal authority to prosecute. Centar does not have the power to prosecute corruption cases. Centar collects whatever allegation that you may report, and Centar will do its due diligence and collect some additional information so that when they submit to the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, that allegation will have some weight, and we will find the LACC, investigating and prosecuting, and there will be a probability of, a guilty verdict. All right, so that's what we do at Centar. We've done that a lot. We forwarded cases at the LACC. Some of those cases have led to guilty verdicts. For example, at the Planned Parenthood Association of Liberia, there was an allegation that came from the public. And that allegation went to Centar Advocacy and Legal Advice Center. The lawyers reviewed it and they did a preliminary investigation, after which the case was forwarded to the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission and an indictment was June. The case started, and quite recently, those accused were found guilty. That's the power of your participation in corruption related issues. That's how powerful you could be when you decide to stand up and participate in the fight against corruption. So we are encouraging you, visit Centars ELAC, visit there with your complaint of corruption, call Centars ELAC 4432 is free of charge. Send a text to 0555 722 you can send a WhatsApp message to that number. You can also send an email to elac@centar.org.lr. Again, it's elac@centar.org.lr. All right. Once you do those things, You are on par, you are ready to end the scourge of corruption in Liberia. There are a lot of things we are doing, but we're not going to delve into all of what we are doing as entire. We're running our Of course, we're running our Integrity Club outreach program at 4 universities. We're running our open expenditure initiative. We're working with county council members and promoting transparency in the utilization of the county's social development funds. We're also working with government anti-graft institutions through the National Integrity Forum. We're building their capacity. We're supporting them through our NIMBA program, which is the National Integrity Building Anti-Corruption Program, by providing some funding to promote transparency service delivery. We are also erecting billboards on that program at various institutions, providing public services so that people can have access to information of those about these services. We are also working with our joint civil society and anti-corruption initiative, where we collaborate, we conglomerate grassroots civil society organizations to join in the fight against corruption, to conduct awareness and outreach, all in the spirit of ending the scourge of corruption in Liberia. But we will stop here and introduce our guests. We have two distinguished personalities. They are from the Restoring Academic Integrity. This is an organization established to restore academic integrity in Liberia. And we have the project lead for that group. He's Daniel N. Valai. He's here to provide some information about some of the activities that they are carrying on at the Restoring Academic Integrity. And we also have Favor Nicaragua. She is the social media manager for Restoring Academic Integrity. So very shortly, we will get to them to talk about what they're doing at that institution to restore integrity in academics. And but before we do that, I would like to give out this call to action. In 2022, the government of Liberia, through the national legislature, signed into law the whistleblower and the witness protection laws. These laws are very key in the fight against corruption. Before the advent of those laws, there were a lot of skepticism. People complained a lot. There are people who like to report corruption, but they would be skeptical and say, well, if I report the allegation of corruption, am I protected? You know, I mean, if I want to serve as a witness in court against someone who has indulged into corruption, will I be protected? Will my identity be protected? Wouldn't I be haunted after my testimonies in court? So there have been a lot of fears from members of the public. And so it was agreed through various conventions and other interactions and peer learnings that there was a need to have this law, which is a whistleblower law that provides protection for those who report corruption. And that law was passed, and the witness protection law was passed as well. So now we have two laws that protect witnesses of corruption and also protect those who would testify in court. So if you are out there, you were once upon a time afraid to report allegations of corruption, you need not to be afraid. There is a law that protects you. There is a law that provides sufficient protection for you. But the issue is with the witness protection law. The witness protection law was passed, but there was a provision, or there is a provision within the law that calls for the establishment of a witness protection unit. And that unit will derive plans, will derive strategies to provide protection for those who want to report or who want to testify against corrupt officials. Up to now, even though the law has been passed since 2022, the Witness Protection Unit has not been established. We are calling on the government of Liberia to establish speedily the Witness Protection Unit. This is a unit of just a director and few staff. It does not take a lot away from the government in terms of resources. You've already done a lot, you've established the law. You need to back the law up by establishing the Witness Protection Unit. Without the Witness Protection Unit, it makes the work of the LACC difficult because there should be a unit that will provide strategies and supervises the activities of witnesses of corruption, because this is key. There are people who may not want to appear physically to testify against corrupt officials. So we need a unit that will provide those strategies, whether in camera or whatever medium through which people can provide testimonies or other strategies to protect witnesses. There is a psychosocial component of witness testimony or corruption witness testimonies. There are other support that should be provided so that those who may want to stand and testify against corrupt officials can be adequately protected. But we need that unit to be established. We need that unit to be up and running so that those who want to testify against corrupt officials can be assured of their protection. So please, we are calling on the government of Liberia, do the needful, find the resources. You've already passed the law. You have to back the law. You have to ensure that the law is implemented. What is the worth of a law that is passed when is unable to be sufficiently implemented? It becomes worthless. So you need to make the law worthwhile by completing all of the modalities, especially establishing the Witness Protection Unit. So that is that. We turn now to our guests from the Restoring Academic Integrity, and we will begin by welcoming the project lead Daniel and Valai. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Also, favor Nekai Gue, social media manager. Good morning and welcome to Integrity Watch.
Thank you.
Let's begin by telling us, giving us a little background about your organization, Restoring Academic Integrity. Why do you think it was necessary to have an organization called Restoring Academic Integrity? What prompted this organization establishment? What are your missions, vision, goals? Why are you established in the first place?
Thank you so much. And let me say it's a pleasure to be here, especially to talk integrity and to talk about the Restoring Academic Integrity Project. Once again, I'm Daniel Valai, and I'm the project lead for the RA project. Let me clarify that the Restoring Academic Integrity is a project instead
Okay.
of an organization.
Okay.
And this project was cracked in 2021 by the Partner for Education, an organization that support education, leadership, and entrepreneurship. And since 2021 up to 2023, we have implemented the Restoring Academic Integrity project specifically for high school students. And the project intent is to fight academic malpractices in high schools um, all over Monrovia. I know that 2021 project focused specifically in Monserrado,
Mm.
raising awareness against malpractices in high school, establishing integrity clubs in over school, planting integrity boxes, so that students can have the opportunity to report malpractice cases silently without being targeted to teacher or administration. Because we know that academic malpractice cases are strategic cases, and some students who want to be very, very critical towards that, are targeted to teacher. So eventually they will go after you and then maybe possibly fail you or so forth. So in order to keep them safe, we have to plant boxes. so that you can just write a note and then drop in the box. And it is dark. And the reason that we set up the club is to maintain the box that is on the campus and to
Okay.
keep the intent of the project, which is fighting integrity in the high school, going, educating other students, raising awareness, constant awareness by working with administrations. So that is basically the overview. And Partner for Education, we came together to start this project in Montreal in 2021. And we were able to impact about 18 different high schools in Central Monrovia. 2022, 2023, we moved on to Bomi and Cape Mount, where we impacted about 15 different high schools in Bomi and Cape Mount. And this time is the phase three of the Restoring Academic Integrity Project. We are intending to educate and train our integrity club members. Between 2023 to now, we did not, to 2024, we did not implement any project. So the club been a little dormant. So some students that were part of the club already graduated and left. So we think there was a need to rebrand, to educate, and also to reinforce the activity of the club in the rural schools.
Okay. So let's hear from Favor. Tell us. Well, I mean, you do a lot. You guys are going around in various counties and providing support to students, planting boxes. How are you being funded? Who's funding your activities, and how are you getting funded?
So thank you. So we get funds from Yes program, and we are also in partnership with Sintai Liberia for this program.
Okay, so what is the envelope, the funding? Are you getting $1 million, or what exactly are you getting in terms of funding? What's the size of your funding?
That is a little restricted. Let me cut me there. So
Okay.
I'm a Yes alumni. Yes is a youth exchange and study program. The program takes high school students from Liberia every year, send it to America for one academic year.
Okay.
When it comes back, the program compares you to be impactful to your society. So I'm glad to come in here because Favor is just one of the staff on the project team.
Okay.
She never been on the program. So
Okay.
um to empower alumni to be impactful to the society, every year there is a Yes grant that alumni apply for, and that grant is up to $3,000. So you propose your project, and your project is justifiable enough. They approve it and they grant you. You know, it is possible that your grant might reduce based on the amount on hand. So the Restoring Academic Integrity Project has been funded from the initial by the Yes program through the Yes alumni grant.
Okay. So what was the duration of the funding? How long are you going to be doing these things?
The durations of the fund every year, the durations of funding is just for 1 year. Like 2024, by February of next month, all 2024 grant projects should be completed and report sent in, and approved that hey, you are clear of your project. That is the deadline. But this is a continual grant activity that goes on. That every year there's a Yes alumni grant, so alumni have the opportunity to apply it. And applying one time does not qualify, your activity continuously. You have to apply every year when the grants come up. It doesn't matter whether your project is an existing project or so forth. One good thing is your project being an existing project based on the impact that you made and the lasting impact and the progress that you made on your project. What good work you did, you have the higher percentage of it, or you will get another grant to continue the project that you implemented.
So let's come to Favor a little bit and ask how has Centaur been a part of this entire activities? What's the level of involvement of Centaur? I know some of you at the project that implementing the project have been a member of the Integrity Club of Centaur before, or some of you are still members of the Integrity Club.
Yes.
What
Yes.
sort of role is Centaur or has Centaur played in this entire project?
Yeah, so we all know Sintai to be a transparency based club. And when it comes to Sintai Library, we know once it's about Sintai, it's about transparency. So, like my boss earlier said, the club, we have a hotline for Sinta that is 34432.
Mm.
So once you see any malpractices in high school, you can just call Sinta and Sinta will come in to enforce any complaint that is being passed on. And another thing, with the needs Sinta mentioned in our project, is going to make it much easier for us
Mm.
because Sinta has lawyer and has all what it takes to bring justice to the students that will be abused. And if your professor is being abused as well. So Sinta is a great help to us for this project, the Restoring Academic Integrity Project.
So back to you, Mr. Project Lead. What really, overall, what is the overall objective of this entire project? What do you want to achieve after all of your engagements and everything?
Corruption is a major issue in the Liberian society. And as I said, character begins at home. And, the character of a particular person begins at a very early stage. And corruption is being nurtured from high school
Hmm.
up to the larger society. If we want to target corruption, we have to target it from the very initial, which is high school. On my time on the YES program in the United States, education is very, very transparent. If you get
Hmm.
70, you get 70 on your report card. If you get 50, you get 50 on your report card. There is nothing like I-100 and divided by 2. Or there's nothing like I-50 to all the grades. No. Um, when I came back to Liberia, I observed that, hey, this thing about malpractices, teacher collecting money from students for grade or sometimes envelope, those things were very, very unnecessary in the society. And this could lead to an economy downfall. This could
Hmm.
lead to an unprofessional society. Reason why we have problem in the professional setting, we have people that are not so qualified to work at certain places, and the economy is not booming, and people are poorly performing is because they never get prepared from the very initial. So they try to skip all these stages of preparations and developments and qualification by paying money, right? And as a result, it ends out to the larger society. It affects our progress as our nation and affect our economies and at all level, including education specifically. You know how cardinal education is when it comes to country development. So we thought of raising awareness against this, and we know that corruption is adaptable. Like it is already been adapted. People are adapted to it. So let's say they have been done every time. Some students don't care anymore. They just go to class and they don't pay attention to lessons. And because they know at the end of the semester they are going to pay certain amount of money, they get A. So another student is going to be very serious. Say, I don't want to be corrupt, but they are going to spend the whole night reading and making research.
Hmm.
When that student comes, they have to depend on themselves. And maybe they're going to get B, but then the students that didn't do anything are going to get A. So there's no transparency in that. And
Okay.
at the end result, the student who had a sleepless night, probably after certain time observing that particular thing, is going to get frustrated and say, well, there's no need, right? And they're going to adapt the same attitude that's going on. They're just going to be paying money and so forth. So we have noticed that it is something that students are used to. So right now, even if you talk about, hey, let's be transparent, let's not do this, then some students in class are going to say, no, we are not going to support you on that. In fact, they are going to hate the idea because if you try it, they will tell you that if you don't have the ability to study anymore, you'll be worried that they're going to fail. So this is something that we want to stop. We want to have an education that is qualified so that people will be prepared, fully prepared for the economy. We don't want to have an economy that is going to be shaky because there is no strong foundation from the beginning.
Okay.
So that's the Liberia that we want.
Thank you very much. And that's the voice of Daniel and Valai, he's the project lead. Earlier you heard Favor Nakagwe. She's the social media manager for the Restoring Academic Integrity Project. And these are distinguished personalities who were once upon a time members. Some of them are still member. I think any you still member of the Integrity Club?
Yeah, we have but three members of the Integrity Club UMU.
Okay, so this is a project that is orchestrated by members of the Integrity Club and former members of the Integrity Club um, at various universities. And this shows an extent to which members of our Integrity Clubs are not just getting the message of integrity, but they are also, you know, they are ambassadors of anti-corruption. And that is the overarching vision of the Integrity Club outreach programs at those universities. We not just train young people, but we equip them to be anti-corruption ambassadors that they can transfer with them those tenets of integrity and honesty into whatever they do in the future. And some of them, if they become leaders tomorrow, they may, tread with integrity because they've already been trained and they've already been tutored a lot about how to live a life of integrity. And you just seen it right here. These young people came together and carved this project, restoring academic integrity. And they have received funding from the United States government and they are implementing this project. So if you're out there, you would like to participate and maybe give them some pap on the back or some advice or whatever recommendations that you may have, you can call 0770 436 728 0770 436 728, or you can call the official studio line, which is 077-285-9610, and talk to these young people, give them some advice, give them recommendations. They're doing a lot. They are working to restore academic integrity across schools, not just in Montserrat, but in other counties. They are making efforts, and that's the only way we can end corruption. We have to make small efforts. We have to make strides. The one call that you will make to report corruption, that call can be very, very important to the overall fight against corruption. The small effort of these young people to restore integrity in education can be very pivotal in the overall cleaning of the educational system, in the overall um, in integrity driven academic system in Liberia. So don't overlook any effort. It may be small, their funding may be very little, they can't do a lot, but these efforts are very pivotal. So support them, give them whatever advice you can, give them whatever support you can. Call 0777 285 961 or 0770 436 728 and talk to Daniel and Valai and Favor Nakagwe. They are from the Restoring Academic Integrity Project. So let's go back to you, ladies and gentlemen. Um, you have this training for Integrity Club members. Give us a little background about that training that is upcoming, or what is the rationale of that training? What do you intend to achieve from that training?
So the training is actually there for students in high school, and we are also taking one in Shikata. One in Shikata is going with 10 students from each school. So here is the thing. We are going to be training them over the vacation. For Maserati, the training will be on the 21st of August. And when school opens, we are going to be working along with them.
Okay.
So after the training, you will see that we're playing the boxes on the canvas. And whatever complaint that will be in that box, we are working with them along with Sinsai to looking forward to like see how we can help them out.
So what exactly the training will cover? What are some of the topics and what are you training them in?
So we are going to tell students that you don't have to always pay bravery to
Okay.
make it in school.
Mm.
So no sex for grades.
Okay.
And the professors then need to know that fairy tasting is not allowed in school. You have to sweat and make the grade, and your grade needs to be like what you have is what you get. You don't
So
have to pass the easy way to make big grades.
okay. So
So
what I mean, how many people are you targeting? What is how many schools are you
So we
targeting?
have few schools. We are
Mm.
targeting about 75
Wow,
students.
that's a lot.
Yeah, 75 students. So we are in three counties actually.
How many schools?
We are dealing with school like BW Harris, CWA,
Okay.
SDA, Muslim Congress, Worldwide Mission,
Okay.
and many other schools.
And the target, beneficiary should be 75 students
75
Yeah, in
for
general,
each
in
training.
general.
for a school.
No, for a month. So we are
Okay.
having trainings like in Maserado,
Okay.
Pomi, and Cape Mount. So Maserado will need 75 students, and Pomi will need 75, Cape Mount as well.
150.
So all of those schools are just named. We have to give 10 students each.
Okay.
So to buttress what Faye was trying to say is we are working with existing high school that we've been working with for phase one and phase two. I know in Mosurado we dealt with a teen school where we planted integrity boxes and set up integrity clubs. So we are hoping we'll be able to work with all the 18 schools in Mosurado. And also, for me and Cape Mount, we were able to impact 15th school for phase two of the project. And we are hoping to be able to reach out to those 15 schools. And the training is actually going to focus on giving them the skill
Mm.
necessary to handle our integrity crop in a very unique way. And to know the various types and kinds of corruption involved. This is one reason that we are working with Sintai being a model organization.
Okay.
Sintai has experience and they know all those integrity clubs, some of which that our integrity club members in the high school will need to know, and also how to go by. If people don't, if the club, we feel if the club are not educated, especially in handling the malpractice issue, it will become situations of malice between how the club go about engaging administrations and teachers and so forth. So we don't want to be that way. We want to be done in a unique and orderly way. And one thing also is to add some tie to the whole process,
Okay.
to boost our effort, making sure that this is taken seriously, especially with this partnership with Sintai. We are going to be using the tag number.
Okay.
Uh, the tag number is going to be printed on stickers that will be placed on the boxes that are on the campuses.
When you say TAC number, what do you mean?
The number that you always call to report malpractice
Four four
issues.
three
Yeah, the
two.
four four
Yeah.
three
Okay.
three. Those numbers are going to be placed on the sticker that we're going to create and be placed on the red boxes. And um, student who does not want to just write a paper can call the number and report cases directly to Sintai. That will help boost Sintai operations and make them reaching out to some of the counties, uh, trying to help the student to deal with the cases professionally.
Okay. So let's hear you. What are some of the what is the overarching vision of the training? What do you hope to achieve at the end of the day?
So this is just to restore transparency in high school. So we don't have to like have a high school where you have to steal your money, your pa money before passing. Your parents already pay the money. All you have to do is study. We don't need an environment where teachers have to sleep with students before they pass the students. We don't need an environment where other people will study and pass while other people just go the easy way. At the end of the day, they are going to be harmed in the future because private teachers today is going to be a huge mistake to Liberia tomorrow because by you the kids in high school now are the future leaders for tomorrow. So we just need a transparent educational system.
So
That's all.
all of your engagements, you've been meeting with people, students, and administrators. How has it been so far? Have they been receptive? What are the students saying? What are some of the reviews from your engagement with students and administrators so far?
Well, like every project, there are challenges and advantages and disadvantages. So I know that in phase two, we had some huge challenges. Some schools were not willing to accept the integrated crops in their schools because reason best known to themselves.
Okay.
So we couldn't enforce it, but then we had to be, we had to build a relationship with schools that were willing, and we had to tell them, hey, we didn't come to, bring confusion between students and teacher. We came to solve a problem that is very, very important in our society. This is one reason that we try to work directly with the administration. First of
Okay.
all, we go directly to the administration and tell them, hey, this is the project we are bringing, and this is how we want to go about it. We want the administration to be involved, especially in the decision making process. And reviewing the bugs, particularly every month, include the administration in the process.
Okay.
The integrity club members, representative from our team, meet and review the bugs, and any complete from there, review and then take it to administration. Hey, this is the situation. Administration will come up with solution how to settle the issue, or if that cannot be settled now, then we can move to the next station. Probably get other organizations that's entirely involved. Hey, there's this situation, some malpractices in the school and so forth. Yeah, we want your expertise to try to handle this situation.
Okay. Aside from the some of pushbacks from some administrators or some schools, have you received similar things from students, or do you have? I mean, what is the acceptance levels of the students that you've engaged with so far on this project?
Some students prefer not being a part at all.
Okay.
Yeah, I know a case in Cape Mount in the Mano plantation,
Mm.
in the Madamo High School. We had to go around in all the classes explaining the intent of the project to the students. Some would just sit and look and never show interest. Some prefer not to be a part, but yet other, actually show passions, and that's something that they want to be a part of. So, yes, we had similar experiences.
Okay. So how? I mean, do you see generally how do you evaluate the overall acceptance level in terms of students and administrators? Do you think this project is going well? Do you think there are holdbacks and some things that need to be addressed?
Yeah, to be honest.
Yep.
So um this is actually a break time for high school
Okay.
students. So
Mm.
it's more and more challenging for us. Like you will hear something like, you have to call my papa to let them know that I'll be on this training on the 21st because we won't break. And
Mm.
most of the instructors will make it clear to us that our children are going on break. We don't know if you'll be able to get to them. So now we have to start all over, like collecting their numbers, their name, and their parents' number, calling
Hmm.
the parents to let them know that your daughter will be here because we are going for a integrated thing. We can just capture somebody's child and carry them for training without that knowledge. So we have to pass through a very long road, not just the school, but also the parents or the guardians. So it's more and more challenging, but it's okay anyway.
Okay, yeah, that's okay. Anyways, that's Favor Ogwe. She's the social media manager of this project, which is restoring academic integrity. And we also have Daniel Valai. Daniel is the project lead for restoring academic integrity. And the overarching goal of this project is to ensure that there is integrity within academics in Liberia. There are a lot of complaints that have come from schools, teacher taking bribes and student taking giving bribe out to teachers or for grades, and a lot of things are happening, extortion and other things. But these guys are working to ensure that that is resolved. Let's take this caller. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, my name is Asia F. Kwane calling from here, Devier.
Let's hear you,
Let
please.
me let me appreciate our colleague in studio there. You see, we young people with the mindset coming out these days is very important, and I will appreciate them so much when we see young people coming out with this brilliant idea to make Liberia a better Liberia. for we next generation. And I would like to encourage them to keep up. They should continue their hard work. And I'm ready to work with them. I'm waiting to put my effort to see how best we can change Liberia in a positive way. So let
Okay.
me give them a thumb for everything they have said and they continue to do.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you
All
for
right.
availing yourself, volunteering your service to this cause, and thank you very much. That's what we need. We need some words of encouragement. This is not very easy things for young people. A lot of young people want to venture into this thing. They're afraid. They don't want to be, targeted. It takes few courageous young people to change an entire situation, or change an entire sector. So, I mean, we cannot just complain, sit back and complain about corruption within the schools. People have complained a lot of times. The Center's Advocacy and Legal Advice Center will receive complaints about sextortion. Oh, I've taken the test, I've passed, but the teacher is requesting this and that because she wants me in this and that. And a lot of things have been happening. How do we end it? How do we promote the culture of integrity within schools? How do we ensure that teachers stop taking bribes? Teachers stop soliciting bribes and students too stop paying bribes. How do we ensure these things happen? We can ensure it. We can ensure these things happen when we take actions, when we educate students. There are some students who don't even know that it's wrong to give a teacher money for a grade. They think it's a normal thing.
Of course.
They think it's just normal. Ah, yes, if I can make it, I give the teacher money and then I make a pass, and my parents are excited, and oh yes, I made a pass. So we have to educate them, and that's what they're doing. Educate students. It's wrong. If you give a teacher money for a grade, you are killing yourself. You're destroying yourself because you are getting what you do not deserve. You do not deserve the grades you're getting. If you made an honest 70, it is better than to get a 90 that you do
That's
not
completely
merit,
different.
that you
Yeah.
do not
That you can do
that do not
anything.
you do not deserve. That is fooling yourself. That's one of the biggest crimes that you can commit against yourself, to
That's
fool yourself that you're smart when you're not.
Mm.
So you have to try. We have to discourage this culture of corruption within schools, bribery, sextortion. A lot of kids, a lot of students don't even know that when a teacher asks you
You take
for
it
sex
personally.
because of grade, it's corruption.
Okay.
They don't know that.
Mm.
They don't know it's corruption. They don't know. They don't even know that it's wrong. The thing is favor exchange. Okay, the teacher wants to give me grade, and then I can give him something too as well in exchange. The thing is favor, exchanging favor. He gave me, I gave you, which is wrong. It's corruption. So these are some of the education these folks are carrying around, restoring academic integrity. Their vision is to ensure that we get these things out of schools, that students can focus on learning and students can apply efforts to learn, and they can read their books in the night, put their legs in cold water and study hard to make grades and compete. And so we can have a better country, so that we cannot just sit back and just get free grades, and then when we get into the larger society we are unable to match what we have in terms of paper with what we can deliver, because we've had a lot of that in Liberia. It's because of corruption.
Yes.
We have people graduating from high schools, for example, universities. They cannot represent those papers they have. It's because of corruption. So how can we end it? Let's get your party comments.
Yes. Thank you so much. And let me say thanks to the Truth FM family again for having us, and thanks to Sintai uh, for this wonderful opportunity to be here today on the Integrity Watch. It's a pleasure, and I just want to say integrity to me means being honest and showing strong moral principle
Mm.
and doing the right thing even when no one is watching.
Mm.
And cultivating integrity will actually help to build trust and respect, as well as showing positive
Okay, let's hear you, Favor.
So thank you to Children for having us, and thank you to Sintai Labra for making this possible. So I want to say it starts with you.
Mm.
Yeah. So the change you can be the change you need, and everyone else who is watching will be motivated to be like you. So for our Facebook page, you can follow us on Facebook. For the one person that said they want to volunteer with
Mm.
us, you can follow us on Facebook. It's Restoring Academic Integrity Liberia. So just pull Restoring Academic Integrity Liberia and send us messages. We are willing and we look forward to you guys. Thank you.
Do you have a number to give out? For example, somebody wants to volunteer, maybe they have additional support. Or first, do
Yes.
you have a mechanism through which people can contribute to this program or to this project? Maybe raise funds, help you to raise funds, or I mean something like that. Or somebody can join with their expertise. Do you have those kind of platforms available?
Yeah, like Favor said, you can message on Facebook,
Okay.
and we have a number. Favor is a social media person,
Okay.
communication person. So, she will leave a number you can call. In terms of support, that could be if it's how to call it another phase. If you
Okay.
want to support, the lasting part of the project, that would be very, very
M-
how to call it
Maybe in terms of
appreciated.
maybe not financial support,
Yeah,
but maybe somebody wants to. I don't think I have the space here. I want to give it to you guys
definitely,
to,
definitely. That will
you
be.
and maybe as an office, as a resting place to
Mhm.
compile your reports and whatnot. And maybe I have this vehicle, I like to utilize it to do some runs, and or maybe I can avail myself to joining you guys to provide some other support. Are you open to these kind of things?
Definitely, we are open to everything. Especially the expertise people that want to
Okay.
volunteer, come up with their ideas and so forth. We go all the time. We have these challenges of traveling, going to different schools and so forth. So, well, volunteering to how do you call it, accommodate the team. Maybe you have a vehicle and you want to drive everybody out to the revenues is very appreciated. We want to welcome everybody on board, every
Okay.
young people on board to keep this fight because it's not just a little fight, it's a very big fight and need more manpower. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. That's the voice of Daniel Valai. He is the project lead for the Restoring Academic Integrity Project, and it is funded by the U.S. State Department. Did I get that right? It's
Yes,
funded by the U.S.
the US
government.
government.
It's a Yes Grant project, which is funded through the Yes Grant of the U.S. government. And earlier, you heard Favor Guer. She's the social media manager. She was here along with Valai to provide information around the Restoring Academic Integrity Project. Sadly, that's all the time we have for this edition of the program Integrity Watch. This program will be here next Wednesday by God's willing, and we will have another guest to talk about core corruption issues, integrity related issues, and efforts being made to tackle corruption. These are all part of the National Integrity Building and Anti Corruption Program. Until next Wednesday, when we shall be here to have another edition of this program, my name is Edward Blamo. I am the Media and Communications Officer at Centaur, and I was here along with Mark W. Bondau, who is my able assistant, bidding you bye bye.